We get new injury news today. Darnell Wright participated in practice, was limited. So that would seem to be a good sign. We'll have to see how it progresses over the next couple of days. If they had to go Benedette and Ozzie Trapillo, how would you feel about this matchup with Washington if they had to go without Darnell Wright?
I don't think you'd feel great about it, right? Going into the Commanders, going on the road, using silent count, going against the Commanders front. You're a little behind anyways. You guys know which silent count. The Bears pass blocking has not been great throughout the front and even in the middle of the offensive line. So Darnell right now just depends how healthy he is. I was actually just rewatching some of the Cowboys game and saw him pull, and he got hit in the back of his elbow. And I saw the play that he got hurt on, and it sucks, man, when your elbow gets ricocheted like that and you catch someone in the back. Hopefully, seeing him limited, seeing him practicing again is obviously a good sign. You worry about that injury being worse than you think it is. But Darnell Wright is their best offensive lineman. He is their best tackle. They're going to probably replace Braxton Jones there at left tackle. Ozzie Trapillo, young guy. They have Von Miller. They have other guys coming off that edge, and you just worry about Caleb playing with two new young tackles. They're on the road with silent count. I don't know if you could go in there feeling great. You remember when they played, the last team they played that was a good team last year, a playoff team. We could expect the Commanders to be a playoff team, was the Detroit Lions, and they took quite the beating there in Detroit on the road.
With Jayden Daniels in year 2, what has improved? What has stayed stagnant for him?
I think actually, Lawrence, you probably watched some of the film, and I think some of the defensive have obviously the number one thing in the NFL is you put yourself on film, right? And everyone gets to study where you like to go with the ball, what you like to do in certain situations, what route concepts does Cliff Kingsbury like to use with you in certain situations. That's the hardest thing to overcome once you become an NFL football player. You go, basically saying you go from the hunter to being the hunted, and you're all film, and everyone knows what you want to do. Now he's just trying to make that adjustment again. Obviously his legs are critical to him. He has a little longer holding the ball, but they're showing him things and taking away things that he does like the best. Now he did get injured. He's just one game back. They looked pretty good last week, but him and Cliff Kingsbury again have to adjust to the league again and to see what they have to do. And it just, I think when you say, okay, has he taken a step back when you turn the film on? I think the answer is probably a little bit yes. But I don't know if he's taking a step back as much as the league has more film on him and they know what he likes to do with the football.
Olin Kreutz, I got to imagine you're a fan of Deebo Samuel. What do you think of that guy?
Yeah, tough receiver, real tough receiver, really good with the ball in his hands. He's going to be a challenge for the Chicago Bears come Monday night. He's the guy. I know I've been seeing that. I think he's on the injury report. I don't know if he's practiced yet this week. I don't know if he practiced today yet, but strong, tough wide receiver. I know it's funny, right? You're hearing about him in the offseason. It's like he looks heavy. He can't run. And then you see him returning kicks and catching balls and running guys over and them using him in all different kind of ways. So you do like the way he plays football. You do like the way he turns his shoulder pads upfield. He doesn't mind running into a linebacker, a safety, a cornerback, making his point, making plays for his football team. Obviously, you can use him in all sorts of ways, whether it be jet sweeps, whether it be running routes or returning kicks. I mean, this guy is a really good football player, and he makes that Commanders offense just that much more dangerous.
Deebo limited today at practice. While Terry McLaurin is still the number one receiver, Deebo's their leader in scrimmage yards. Lawrence, he's that guy who's used in a multitude of ways, and they can be creative with him.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun seeing him fit, because I was wondering after he moved over there, I'm like, is he going to be the same guy? And so far, he's been that. I'm also really impressed with Krosky Merritt, their seventh round running back pick, who's averaging 6.6 yards per carry. I would imagine having been around football for forever, that is more of a product of what their offensive line is doing, unless you see something different. I'd love to know what your breakdown is of what Washington's run game looks like.
Yeah, obviously it all works together, right? And when you have a quarterback like Jayden Daniels, he takes someone out of the box already, Lawrence, right? He accounts for one defender just because you have to worry about him keeping the ball. You have to worry about his legs. Now, they did, as you guys know, upgrade their offensive line this offseason, and they went and got themselves a premier left tackle in the NFL from the Texans, who's hoping the Bears would consider trading for Laramie Tunsil if they know he was on the block. This guy is an amazing football player. You watch him on film. He has upgraded that offensive line. I think that they come out with this new Protector of the Year award. He's probably one of the favorites right now, guys. That's how much he has upgraded this Commanders offensive line. If you want to watch a premier left tackle and you're a Bears fan in the NFL and you want to watch a guy this week that you say, okay, we keep talking about we don't have this position. What should it look like? Watch the Commanders left tackle, Laramie Tunsil, play football. This guy is elite. If you go back and watch him against Parsons, I forgot when he played the Packers, week 1 or 2. It was a heavyweight fight, man. It was watching two heavyweight champs go at each other. So really fun guy to watch play football, Lawrence. Like you're saying, yes, he's young running back, very good player, but he is surrounded by a lot of guys, Deebo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, their offensive line, a lot of assets they put in there. And then they got their quarterback, Daniels. And the last guy you think about is that running back, which opens up lanes for him.
If I'm Washington, I'm looking at the Bears and looking at their opponents and going, there's an opportunity for us to run the ball. What do you hope the Bears have done over this bye week to get themselves better at being a run defending team?
Well, that is a great question, right? And I see that Grady Jarrett is still injured, nicked up with that knee. So Javon Dexter moved the 3 technique a little bit against the Raiders, and they moved Billings to nose and moved up Jonathan Ford. And like you guys know, that's something I've been talking about. I wouldn't mind Javon Dexter moving around that defensive line where you could try him either at defensive end too and give him a mismatch there out there, because right now, guys, they are getting moved off the ball on that defensive line. When you turn the film on, it's okay, let me identify the problem the Chicago Bears are having against the run. And sometimes you see guys 3-4, Dominic Robinson, 3-4, 5 yards, Shamar Turner, Javon Dexter, driven off the ball. The linebackers don't even have a chance. Obviously, TJ Edwards being back will help, right? He'll align guys. He'll give guys clues on what run is coming, what's about to happen to them. You know, you play against linebackers like that, and they're calling out your run plays, and that really helps the run defense, give little tips and cues up front. But more than anything, Lawrence, and I don't know what you can do nowadays. I don't know how many padded practices they have in the NFL nowadays. I think they only practice once on their bye week, and then they're down at the Wrigleyville yelling at the reporters. But other than that, I mean, I don't know how much you get your pads low. They got to change the line of scrimmage, Lawrence, man. They got to get some penetration. They got to walk guys back. They got to do things on that defensive line against the run a little bit better than they have been doing, or, you know, the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL, the Washington Commanders. They're not going to quit on this run, right? The Cowboys average a lot of yards per carry. The Raiders did a good job running the ball. The Commanders are thinking, man, coming to this game, I mean, it's common sense, right? I'm going to run the ball all night long, and if I don't give them 4 takeaways this game, they might have a hard time beating us.
So let's go to the flip side in the Bears run game, which also needs to improve coming off the bye. I wonder schematically and in terms of usage, what you think might be different as Ben Johnson had an opportunity to examine what's been working and what is not in the run game.
Yeah, I'm sure they went to their bye week speeds like every team does, and they broke down every run play, and these coaches put in tons of hours, and we all know that, and they're all looking for answers just like us. And when you watch their film, it looks like sometimes they don't recognize the blitz. They're not doing good against run stunts. They're not working well together, and they had Darnell Wright go in and out, and Theo Benedict come in, and then Braxton come in and move him over, and Ozzie Trapillo, and you're trying to hope that Jonah Jackson and Tooney and Dahlman them get a little more comfortable in there, and also DeAndre Swift in where they want them to hit the ball, where they want them to run the hose. But right now, and like you talk about the defensive line, you can say the same thing on offense, right? They're just not making their blocks, or the running back is just not hitting the hole. I know someone asked me the other day, they said, I see the Bears are ranked like number 1 offensive line yards before contact, and the running back is last. And I said, well, I don't know if I rank them number 1, but they're not terrible. Like, they're not, and it's just not all gelling together right now. But as you guys know, I've said many times on these shows and on the score that, look, don't build me a 7-on-7 team and start yelling about the run. Right? Don't draft me wide receivers and a pass catching tight end and a wide receiver in the second round, and then get me a running back who's a great pass catcher, and then tell me, whoa, why can't we run the ball? Hey, listen, man, you want to run the ball, you got to get yourself guys who like to run the damn ball.
Before Chicago takes on Washington, tune in Monday from 6 until 7:15 for your local Ford dealers pregame show right here on 670 The Score. Olin Kreutz, Patrick Manley, and Mully will get you started. And then after the game is over, it'll be Olin, Pat, and Chuck Swirsky that'll have instant reaction on the postgame show, which is presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing and Arturo Tires. All of it can be heard on The Score and the Odyssey app. When I look at what Tyrique Stevenson has had to deal with since a year ago, basically till this week, with what happened with him losing focus and the Hail Mary happening last year against Washington, it completely changed the trajectory of those two teams. He's, I think, over the last few weeks, like really talked about it in a mature manner. And we all go through the maturation processes at different times in our lives. If you were a teammate and he were to ask you, on how to deal with just the walking back into that place, is there anything there that he needs to do and focus on to keep him from worrying about what happened before?
Yeah, first he's got to forgive himself, right? And I'll tell you right now, guys, he hasn't been, I don't know if you guys agree with this, he hasn't just been good the last 2 weeks. He's been their best defensive player.
Yeah.
And on a defense that has really carried the team with their takeaways, right? So, and you remember his caused fumble against the Dallas Cowboys. That was a huge play in that game. The guy broke away for 22 yards, right? They were moving down the field to score another touchdown. So he made a mistake. Gosh, I was kind of rewatching some of that game just in preparation for this game. And, he's even on the coach's sideline film talking to the fans, and just a really big mistake, right? But like you said, Lawrence, I mean, as you guys know very well, and anybody who wants to Google me, I've made my own share of plenty of mistakes, man. And you overcome them and you come back in and forgive yourself, because I tell you what, I'm sure his teammates have. They don't even think about it. The guys in that building, it's a new coaching staff. Al Harris plays a lot of football. He knows what it's like to make mistakes, come back from them, and just watching him play football. I don't know how you guys feel, but it's kind of a great story, man. It really is, to watch him compete, come up with that interception, go against guys. And he's a physical cornerback. He'll hit you. He'll come up and hit you. He's a fun guy to watch play football. If he can keep the focus he has, I mean, think about if Jalen Johnson comes back with Tyrique Stevenson. I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy. That was a huge, embarrassing mistake. Nothing that anybody who plays in the NFL for a long time has not done before. Credit to Chicago Bears. Hopefully he rewards them for sticking with them, for trying to develop him, for trying to get him moving in the right direction. Because look, guys, it would have been easy at that moment for them to say, let's just move on, for Ryan Post to hit more golf balls at Soldier Field and say, look, I'm done with Tyrique Stevenson.
Yeah, Olin, we definitely agree on the story, man. We love sports, watching people improve and grow, and this is what's happening. Dude just had a baby. He's got Tyrique Jr. now, and he's like, there's a lot going on. Olin, great stuff.
That'll change your life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That'll
right.
Change your life,
yeah. Can you relate to that in terms of in your NFL career, that changing you?
Yeah. I always tell my daughter, my oldest daughter, Grace, who plays tonight for Miami of Ohio, I always tell her she ruined my football career, because once I had a daughter, it made me soft.